If you've clicked on this video, you're probably somebody that is considering paying for either LinkedIn Recruiter or LinkedIn Recruiter Lite. And you're trying to find the answers to what is the difference between the two products. What's the difference in terms of the feature set? And most importantly, what is the difference in terms of the cost? And in this video, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to cover why you should consider using a product like LinkedIn, what some of the core differences are in terms of the functionality, where if you were to either pay for Recruiter Lite versus full Recruiter, and then again, most importantly, what's the cost difference, so you know what you're going to spend depending on whether you go for the Lite version or the full Recruiter version. So before I dive into the comparisons, I thought I'd let you know that this video has been inspired by a blog that we wrote and we published on the Giig Hire website called How Much is LinkedIn Recruiter? Now, in today's video, like I say, I'm going to cover off a surface level summary of what LinkedIn is, the comparisons between the two, and the comparisons in the cost. But if you're somebody that wants to read about it in more detail, I'll attach a link to the blog in the comments so that you can read through that in your own time and get all the detail that you need. If you're somebody that's been in the recruitment game for a while, you are going to be very aware of LinkedIn and you're going to understand the benefits as to why you would use a platform like LinkedIn. But for people that are either new to the industry or thinking about setting up as a freelance recruiter, I'm going to run you through a couple of insights as to why LinkedIn is going to potentially bring you value in helping you to be a successful recruiter. The first one that I'm going to draw your attention to is the fact that LinkedIn will give you access to an extensive network of candidates. As of time of recording, I think LinkedIn has over 950 million members. So it kind of goes without saying that if you are a freelance recruiter that's starting out and you don't have a network or a database of candidates, you can tap into LinkedIn to instantly get access to over 950 million people. The second thing, which is a benefit also to using Recruiter or Recruiter Lite, is that it gives you advanced filtering options. So I've just mentioned there's 950 million people on the platform. That's not very useful if you can't filter those people down to target the people that are going to be relevant for the job that you're headhunting for. So one of the other premium features, if you will, of using LinkedIn Recruiter or Recruiter Lite is that you get advanced search functionality that allows you to narrow that pool down into a very targeted list that you can then start contacting or headhunting for your clients. So the third one, which again is a benefit to both LinkedIn Recruiter and LinkedIn Recruiter Lite, is the ability to send in-mails to potential candidates. Now, if you're unfamiliar with how LinkedIn works, before you can message somebody on the platform, you first have to be connected with them. So you have to send them a connection request. They have to accept that for you then to be able to start a conversation and reach out with a message. One of the benefits you get with LinkedIn, both LinkedIn Recruiter and LinkedIn Recruiter Lite, is the ability to send in-mails, which means you can directly message somebody before you're connected to them. So you can reach out without the need for them to accept your connection request first. LinkedIn do place restrictions on how many in-mails you can send a month. You get more with Recruiter compared to Recruiter Lite, but I'll cover that when I talk about the comparisons between the two. So the fourth one that I'll bring your attention to is that LinkedIn gives you the ability to advertise and promote the jobs that you're working on. As I mentioned a couple of points ago, LinkedIn has over 950 million members, and that's a lot of people to be reaching out to. So LinkedIn give you a functionality where you can advertise a role that you're working on for candidates to apply, so that anybody that sees your job advert that's interested in applying for that role can do so, and then you obviously get notified and you get a candidate in your inbox to review. So the final benefit that I'll draw your attention to is the fact that LinkedIn gives you an incredible ability to build a personal brand. Now, building a personal branding's become quite a buzzword across a variety of industries, but it's just where you will provide your audience with valuable content to be seen as a thought leader, I guess, to draw attention and draw eyeballs to your business and your services. And like, again, repeating myself a little bit, but with 950 million members on LinkedIn, it's an incredible platform for you to be able to start posting content. But to get the benefits from building a successful personal brand, it definitely takes time, it takes patience, it takes consistency. So you need a plan of how you're going to achieve it and what content you're going to push. But if you can stick with it for a number of years and consistently deliver, you might find that then you're getting inbound leads from both a client and a candidate perspective from LinkedIn, which can become very, very powerful for your business moving forward. So what I'll do now is draw a comparison for you between some of the feature sets in LinkedIn Recruiter and LinkedIn Recruiter Lite and how they differ, because you get more access and you get more reach if you obviously pay for the full LinkedIn Recruiter versus LinkedIn Recruiter Lite. Now, I'll give you a couple of examples in this video, but like I say, if you want the full rundown, then check out the blog, because there's a link in the blog to a comparisons page where you can see the exact differences between the two products. But like I say, I'll give you a rundown now of some of the most important ones. So the first one is the amount of reach or access that you get to the profiles and the people that are on LinkedIn. With Recruiter Lite, you're restricted to only being able to reach out to third connections. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, the concept of LinkedIn is that you first have to connect with somebody, and that then becomes a first degree connection. You obviously then have somebody connected to them and somebody connected to them, and that becomes a third degree connection. So with Recruiter Lite, you have a limit to only being able to reach out as far as the third connection, whereas with LinkedIn Recruiter, you can have unlimited access. So LinkedIn Recruiter Lite restricts you to third connections, whereas Recruiter allows you to access anybody that is on the LinkedIn platform. So one of the benefits that I mentioned earlier is the ability to be able to do an advanced search on the platform, so that you can take that 950 million users and you can curate it into a list of relevant profiles of people that you want to contact. And with LinkedIn Recruiter Lite and LinkedIn Recruiter, they have a slight difference in the amount of filters that you can add to be able to curate this list. So I guess it will slightly impact how accurate you can make that list. Now with LinkedIn Recruiter Lite, you have 20 different filters. So you have 20 different filters that you can lean on to create a list. And with the full LinkedIn Recruiter, you have 40. So arguably, if you go for the LinkedIn Recruiter, the full option, you're going to have more options to be able to curate that list, I guess, to save you time, so that you know these people are as relevant as they can be for the search or the role that you're looking for. Open to work is another big feature that I think a lot of recruiters lean on when they're using LinkedIn Recruiter. And what this does is it allows you to see candidates that have actively changed their profile to being open to work. So you know that you're going to be contacting somebody that is available and is looking for a new role. Now with LinkedIn Recruiter Lite, this isn't an option. You don't get the ability to be able to turn this filter on, but with LinkedIn Recruiter you do. So you can not only curate a list of people that are relevant from a skill set perspective, you can then also turn on open to work, and that will then show you a list of all the candidates that are open to work and available to have a chat about potential opportunities. So that one is quite a powerful one that a lot of recruiters lean on, because again, it's a time saver in the sense you know everybody that you're reaching out to is open to a conversation or is open to looking at new opportunities. So one of the other benefits that I mentioned earlier was the ability to be able to send in-mails, which means that you can reach out and directly message somebody that you're not yet connected to. And again, LinkedIn put different limits on the amount of in-mails that you can send, depending on whether you've opted for Recruiter Lite or the full Recruiter. So if you opt for Recruiter Lite, you get 30 in-mails a month. So that means you can send 30 different messages to people you're not connected with to see if they could be open to hearing about the opportunity that you're headhunting for. So that's 30 with Recruiter Lite, whereas with LinkedIn Recruiter, you get 150 a month. So that's 150 that you can reach out to every single month, again, to, of people that you're not connected with. So there's quite a big difference there, disparity, and it depends whether you need, as I say, 30. It's going to be quite personalized, right? Whether you need 30 emails a month to send or 150. So now we get to the final question. The reason that you clicked on this video in the first place was to understand what is the difference between what is the cost difference between LinkedIn Recruiter and LinkedIn Recruiter Lite. So at time of recording, as I understand it, LinkedIn Recruiter Lite will set you back $170 per month. I think they do have discounts for if you buy for the year, but if you want to pay on a month-by-month basis, I think it's quite clear, you can see it online, that it's $170 a month. Now, with the LinkedIn Recruiter subscription, LinkedIn, if you look online, they will say to contact their sales team, to speak to somebody there. So it's hard to give you a definitive answer to this one and say this is exactly how much it costs, because they vary it depending on how many seats you want and how much you're going to use it. But from what I understand from people and recruiters that use our platform that pay for it, you're probably looking at a starting price of around $5,000 for the year, up to $10,000 and above. So you're looking at kind of $1,500 roughly with a yearly discount for LinkedIn Recruiter Lite. And then you're looking at probably 5,000, 7,500, 10,000 and plus if you're going to go for LinkedIn Recruiter.